This is insane.
My name's Kalen. I'll be the pilot today for Summit.
That's too high here, yeah. Look at that shit. Fucking drop off. Heading out, it's 8 a.m. Got through security, going up to Terrace. It's an hour 45 to one of the most prolific silver deposits. Only with Dolly Varden silver, baby. Flying out with Amanda Bennett, the brains behind the operation. Why Iceland?
Because it's a geological wet dream.
Welcome to Canada, folks. We're about to go up from the airport over to the mine site. My first helicopter ride. Let's walk in and see what they got going on.
Okay, let's go do this. And for the record, I do not want to do this. I don't feel comfortable doing this. Can I hold my coffee for comfort? Oh, okay, go ahead, do that really annoying thing where I just go. Oh, we're recording. Oh, this is the interview. My name is Evan Hewson, and I am the base manager for Summit Helicopters in Terrace, British Columbia.
So what does a base manager do?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything from flying, paperwork, scheduling, booking flights, hauling fuel around, pressure washing driveways, everything under the sun. Let you know when I grab them. Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so that's one of our pilots who's just headed into camp who left some grapeseed oil over at Shoppers Drug Mart, and one of my jobs is to run down there and pick it up for him, and then we'll have to ship it up to him in camp. So, yeah. Between that, the pressure washing, the fighting fires, and moving drills, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Wide range of shit.
I've flown for just about every major mining operation in northwestern British Columbia. Dolly Varden, Seabridge's 2 separate projects, Galore Creek, host of other smaller operations in the area as well. Been in Terrace for about 10 years now, and within that tenure, just about every large major mining corporation or project in this area.
Free to go.
Right on, awesome, appreciate it. Oh wait, one for the road.
My name's Kalen. I'll be the pilot today for Summit.
After getting our safety orientation from our pilot, we were ready to head over to the Dolly Varden site, and we started off by flying over the last volcanic eruption in British Columbia, and this was on our way up to the camp. You can see here, that's the lava that's poured over from the explosion. That's where the actual volcanic eruption occurred. And so we did a quick 360 before continuing our way up to camp. As we got close to the Dolly Varden camp, which is actually really close to Kitsault, we flew over an old molybdenum mine. Now this is where they used to mine something called moly, and this was in the 1970s before it became uneconomical to dig this out of the ground. And you can see here they filled up the mine, and it's got greens and trees and shrubs growing everywhere. So it's really nice to see how well they took care of restoring the environment after they left. Now I'm pointing at Alice Arm, and that's the town where the Dolly Varden camp is actually located, right there. Right across from the Dolly Varden camp, you have Kitsault, and this was the mining town that was built for that molybdenum mine that we saw earlier. And so you still have houses, and you have a lot of infrastructure there, and interestingly enough, there's another mining company that operates out of this town, a small exploration company called Goliath. As we turn around and head towards Alice Arm, that's the dock that the barge comes to bring the drills to the site. Alice Arm.
Yeah. So this is the town.
How far is it to the ocean?
Oh, it's like 2.5, 3 kilometers. I
Down.
mean, you can run it.
No way.
It used to be part of the ghost town tours.
Yeah.
Okay, this is camp. Oh. Hey Charlie, we're back. Well, I'm back. Or we're back. This is Daniel. Daniel, this is Charlie. He's our camp manager.
Nice to meet you. He's like, you should go interview Charlie. And
I don't do interviews.
we specifically on this trip are trying to record people who don't like going on camera and don't go on interviews.
Yeah, I think you're 4 for 4.
Yeah. So far, good start.
I forced Evan to do it.
3 has the best view.
There we go. Oh, we'll go to Blue Ribbon.
Top of the world.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
Before we could grab some food, we had to go through the safety protocols of the site, and that took a little bit longer than expected, but necessary for me to stay safe. After safety and food, we walked around camp and explored some of the stuff that they have going on.
We're hoping to do a North Dome home.
After going through the plans for future drilling, we headed over to the core shack where we got to see all the drill core laid out as they prepped it for analysis. Nice. So we took a look at some of the drill core. Pretty interesting to see patterns of mineralization, see some of the fault lines, find out how they build their models using those drill holes, key things that they look for. It's interesting because it's not just about, hey, do we have silver or not, but it's like, what are the formations? What are the patterns that we're seeing? There's a lot that I have to learn. There's so much more that goes into this than is talked about. Impressive operation. I got my camera and my equipment ready to go because we were flying out to drill rig 3, which is on the side of a mountain. Let's see how it goes.
We go to the drill. Okay. You can see how it's done in the drill, and then you can get a full picture. Okay. Ask as many questions you want.
You don't want my dumb questions?
I just say I might not answer them.
You don't answer dumb questions?
Oh, I answer dumb questions all the time. I talk to my own self. I'm just gonna go in person.
On our way to drill rig 3, we passed a few of the old drill sites. So you got to see some of the pads that they had taken down after doing some drilling on different parts of the mountain. And you can see some of them are in some tricky angles and tricky locations. This was probably one of the most crazy experiences of my life. We're flying in to the side of a mountain with this little pad that the helicopter has to land on.
That's why I came in. I was like,
So we'll see if that happens.
yeah.
Building this must have been something special.
Oh yeah. Guys that built these pads, they're nuts.
How do you even fucking build this?
Not easily, guys. Not easily. That's quite the process. Gotta fly the timber out here. The guy's gotta be here. And then they gotta cut it up. Measurements, they gotta be all. It's all gotta be level, obviously.
Fuck me, this is insane. Look at that shit. Fucking drop off.
Damn it! No more meters. Hi, Daniel.
So Daniel, usually when we come to the drill, we want to make sure that we're wearing proper PPE, but like you and I are not, and we made sure that they shut down. You can see both these guys are wearing all their PPE.
This is insane. Like, just like.
That's cool, eh?
Yeah, it's just like registering, like, what the hell.
This is diamond drilling, bro.
I don't know much about drilling.
Okay. So let's go. He knows nothing.
We're going to get the rock that she wants, right?
Yeah.
It's
Basically,
down that
it's
way.
rock fishing. We've got this elaborate.
Machine. Thingamajig.
Amanda looks at the geology,
Yeah.
and she's like, I feel like there is silver here.
Or gold.
Or gold down below, somewhere there. And then sends a bunch of people to build a pad. You guys come up to drill in the direction that she was saying.
Yeah.
And so how does that work when you operate the drill? Like, I see you got all these tubes, and then you got, looks like a little bit of it sticking out here.
Yeah,
Just the tip.
we're pulling out to change the bit at the moment.
So you've pulled all this out?
Yeah. Yeah, we're at 378 meters. Yeah, there's a couple. 3 meters of rod.
So why do you do that? Why do you want to do this job?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, you do understand I'm partially. No, hey, you know what? I worked fucking years in the city and carpentry and built sets and, you know, in the rat race. Yeah. You know, you can't beat the view from the office. The adrenaline, working under the helicopters.
Well, helicopters or the cliff? Which one? Like.
I don't know. First thing I got when we got here was I had to put this wall up, so
Yeah.
I didn't have to look at the cliff.
I want to see what the last 3 meters of the hole is.
Yeah, you guys might want to.
You have to mark it like so, right?
Right.
It comes out upside down. So we put a bottom mark on it. When they get it back, then they flip all the core. It gives them a continuous run, so they actually know
Which side's
way the
up
ball-
and down and.
Yeah, and which way the ore body's sliding if it's going. This is the initial mark I did. Looks like a nice counter though.
So like they'll pull it out, right?
Yeah.
And then, depending on what we see, we either kill it or we don't.
Kill it meaning you keep
Stop the
drilling.
hole.
Stop.
What's the vein you're looking at?
This one, and then we have these other smaller veins that would be younger. The veins are just quartz carbonate. Change that bit. Let's keep on going, boys.
Keep on going. Keep it going.
Yeah, have fun.
Have fun.
Yeah, I'm done.
If he's done, we can leave now.
Okay.
Before heading over to another deposit that Dolly Varden has called the Torbert deposit, we got to fly over the glacier. And what's really cool is you can see the size of this glacier and how it's receding, exposing new mineralization. Now we landed in the Torbert deposit, and I'm going to ask Amanda some questions about her strategy for the drill program that Dolly Varden has.
When I first started back in 2021, they were drilling Torbret to convert the ounces,
Right.
and then we were doing exploration as well. Then in 2021, we added the wolf hole.
That was an exploration hole.
Which is based on geological modeling. Once we hit that, we were just like, well, we will be done for the season. It's okay. And then
Yeah.
the results came back, and we're like, oh wow, like we have something we have something.
Right.
And then let's follow up on it. It was supposed to be just like a few holes, and then all of a sudden it was you're adding 2,000 meters in. So we started pulling meters away from the exploration and the infill part of Dolly. And Wolf allowed us to get Homestake. So we were looking at Homestake before, and they wanted a lot of money, and Sean had me and Rob do some due diligence, and we're like humming and hawing, and we're like, not worth that price.
Yeah.
And then once we had Wolf, and once we had size,
You had more leverage in the negotiation.
so now we have 2 deposits at Homestake. Not that we didn't like the way that it was modeled, we thought it could be modeled differently.
Yeah.
So to do that, you got to drill. You got to test your theories. And that's what we did.
You guys drill in the summer, and then in the winter you go back to the drawing board, look at
Play around.
everything. Let me see if I understand this. Torbert and Dolly were old mines. So
And then-
this was done like 1920s.
1920.
1960.
And this is 1950, 1960s era. So like a lot of this stuff that we were touching on was never like connected. We love rocks
We love rocks.
and we love drilling.
Do you think you guys are going to come back and drill Torbert a bit more next year?
Well, I mean,
In
if
the
you
future?
ask Andrew, he would love to come here and do some infill drilling and
Yeah.
verify some of the lenses and convert the resource. What's the point?
I don't know.
Hecla wants us to find something new.
Because they know that exists.
Yeah, they know it.
Yeah.
If they want to infill it, they can take us over and they can infill it and they can convert the resources. Like, the stratigraphy here is super important.
The what?
Like the rock package.
Okay.
So the rocks here are so important. So if you want to find another Torbret, you find that rock package.
Here with Tony.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
Not bad. Pretty good, actually, yeah.
There's been volcanic activity here. There have been islands
Yeah.
coming in, smashing up against the
Yeah.
mainland.
Yeah.
Not to mention a glacier that we saw earlier. You know, could have been all the way down past here even,
Down the valley here,
down the valley.
Yeah.
The silver that formed at Eskay Creek, or the gold as well, and the silver at Torbert, Dolly Varden. This shows that during that time frame that these guys were around, there was an event occurring that allowed all the silver to be formed, but it's been moved around.
That's right.
All the silver and gold has been moved around, and so using
Modern theories, yeah. Modern geophysics,
Yeah.
all these different techniques, yeah. It's pointing us in the right direction.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
what you're looking for is another Torbert, Eskay Creek, or
Yeah. Another of that size.
Of that size.
Something like 50 million ounces or something of that size. Alice Arm, back in the 20s when the Dolly Varden mine was opened, it was a bustling place, man.
So if there were like 3 things that you would say make a difference now, it would be technology,
Yeah.
consolidation, like one
Yeah.
company who's actually interested
Yeah,
in taking a good leadership, right?
Yeah.
And then the last one is capital, which kind of follows interest. I just want to give you guys an idea of what happens when they find silver. So behind me, they blew this shit up with dynamite, and they just, you know, back then they didn't have the drilling technology, so they just blew it up. And because they found so much silver at surface, so this was all the remnants of what was blown up. We still know that there's 50 million ounces of silver here, but the real interesting thing is the potential to find another Torbrit, another Dolly, another SK in this area. I mean, your odds go up when you have a massive land package, but you really get a respect for the scale of these things. We landed there on that H. Do you think you can carry me if I fall? No. Thought you said you go to the gym. Oh.
Well, I mean, you're one-handed, right?
Yeah. On the way back, we were able to get one more surprise in for you guys. Dolly Varden also owns an asset called Big Bulk, and so we were able to fly over and take a look at what they had. Now this is an asset that was owned by a company called Libero Copper and Gold, and Dolly Varden bought it a few years back. They haven't done any major exploration in it, and it's surrounded by Hecla, so it was very interesting to see what is up there, and it's a beautiful landscape to say the least. Now we're on our way back to camp, where we're gonna recap everything that we just saw. Like, it's really hard to do this, and it gives you a perspective of how much capital is actually needed and why it's so risky, but it also makes sense why people do it, right? Because if you do hit a 50 million ounce deposit, 100 billion ounce deposit, you have a company that's going to last generations, and you're going to have a multi-billion-dollar company. But it really is that kind of 0-1, and you could even sell it for billions before you build it out. But they're going day and night, 24/7, drill. Day shift workers just finished, night shift is going up there, they're in the pad, on the side of a cliff, overnight. It's crazy. So, huge respect for the guys who do this. Let's get some food.
I'm Cheryl Muscle. I'm a diamond driller helper for Almanica. We're here at the Dolly Varden property in Alice Arm, BC. I empty the core tube into the core boxes and load rods into the drill and receive loads from the helicopter and do everything that needs to be done on the drill pretty much. There's 2 people who work on the drill, and usually a 4-man and a 5th man in camp that help out with the drill operations.
And so how long is a typical shift for you?
12 hours, and the drill runs 24 hours a day. I wanted to be a driller because it seemed like a very cool, intense job to work. And I've been working kind of in the industry now for a few years. And it's something I've aspired to do for a while now. So I like the idea of developing our country, these resources, and infrastructure and all that stuff. So
after a quick interview with one of the drill helpers, we took a walk around Alice Arm, getting to know the town a little bit and seeing all the neighbors that Dolly Varden actually has. So what is this?
This is a cabin. Someone's cabin. His name is Keith, but yeah.
So how does he get food up here?
A lot of people just drive into Terrace.
That's your gym?
Fitness facility.
What's the boat for?
I think that's Charlie's new boat. The most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, engineering for...
A lot of things.
Yeah, I had a lot of different careers.
Yeah?
Yeah, depending on how far back you want to go. 'Cause I'm
All
old.
the way.
Yeah, I had we had a family business, store, restaurant, service station that we ran. There several family members.
Where was that?
Red Earth, Northern Alberta.
Okay.
And I had an outfitting company, guiding and outfitting. I was a fur broker.
Fur broker.
At one point, yes.
Huh.
I think I've had about. Then I started in the oil patch up there, and I think I've started 20 or 25 companies since then.
In
Mostly oil and gas.
Mostly oil and gas. Yeah. Mostly oil and gas, but not exclusively.
All right. Getting ready for day 2.
So today we're picking up an analyst, flying to a couple site visits, coming back, doing an interview with Charlie, and then maybe some of the other folks in town. So we'll see how this goes. Day 2, maybe. Let's go.